Yeah. Oh my God.
Whispers of the morning stars, love expanded, infinite, come to earth, a hero's journey, finding what has always been, finding what has always been. Finding what has always been. Feel me now, I am the avatar. No ego here remains. I've washed away my pain, and now I am alive again. My power is insane, ineffably contained.
I'm using two. That's normal.
No darkness here remains. Creator, come again. Illuminate forevermore. All are born again, as it's always
That's how we do it. How we do pop, good window, have all the content rather than and that way there's all the stories that are hear that, bud?
With two N's. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Don Smith. That's Don with two N's. And I'm here to share with you what I've developed over 44 years that I call I Am Divinity. I say that I Am Divinity because I'm divine and so are you. No matter what you've done and what you haven't done, you are divine, you always were and you always will be. And it gets all covered up. And so all of those trips to the personal developments and all of those things, and they don't hold. And did you ever question yourself instead of just going back and getting the next one and the next one and the next one and none of them hold? Well, there's a reason for that. A very big reason is because you're working at a belief level of who you think you are. That's what beliefs are, both negative and positive. They're who we think we are. So going from a negative belief to a positive belief is not the answer whatsoever. It's about the knowing of who we truly are. There's knowing. It isn't a belief. And so all of these ideas of doing this and all of those trips to the wherevers, it's like dealing with a piece of something. But this is not a piece of anything. This is the total knowing of who you are. And what I've developed over this 44 years is a process that's instant and it's permanent. Now, the permanent comes in by you doing something for holding it. But I'm telling you, there's people have this for years, and it's instant. And how do I say that with such boldness? Well, put it in the category of a phobia. 90% of the population has a phobia of something. Bugs, snakes, rats, heights, water, whatever. And my question to you is, how long did it take for you to create that phobia? Yes, you're right. 1 instant. And yet everybody questions me about that. And yet that's all it took. 1 instant. So now what I did was I reverse engineered near-death experiences and phobias to find out how they worked, and I reverse engineered it. So if you can create a phobia in a second, and most times it's before the age of reason, which is 4, 5, 6. Think about that. At that young of an age, that in 1 second you created a lifetime phobia. Well, it's a lifetime phobia because you're holding on to it for protection. That's how the ego works. It's going to get you to hold on to something that's harmful for you so it can keep you aware in case it happens again. That's how toxic your ego is. And it's not your ego, it's the ego. Sorry, my mistake. Because you are much more than an ego. And so what it's about is if you create it in a second, why would it take any longer than a second to reverse it if you knew how you did it? That's what I do. That's one of the pieces. And then the other is the permanentness of it all. Well, I'm going to ask you a question. What color are your eyes? What color are those eyes of yours? Now you tell me how long you had that color. Yeah, your whole life. That's permanent. Would you agree? But look at the permanentness of a phobia. You had it from age 4 to 84. That's 80 years. You'd think that was permanent. But it was created in a second, and you can reverse it in a second. So it's not. That's what I'm saying. So that's what we're talking about. Something that's instant, something that's permanent, and it's about who you truly are. Your divinity, your divine. Don't ever forget it. Always remember it. And all of these other things are happening because you have an attachment to the personal development system of beliefs and changing a belief from a negative to a positive. It's not going to hold. It will not hold. Yes, there will be improvements. Congratulations on doing that. That's searching. I'm talking about a shift from this to a shift from this. Who we're not to who we are. And then doing a simple exercise. Takes 5 minutes, 3 times a day to hold it. And there you have it. That's it. That's who you are. That's why it's like the color of your eyes. The color of your eyes has been that way all this time, and you still have that color. Well, it's the same. Who you truly are is permanent. Who your beliefs are not, because it's not true. no matter how much you believe, the negative or the positive about those beliefs. They're false. And so, I'm here to share with you to go on a journey under 2 hours. Now I'm talking about, like I've worked with 15 different pro athletes or Olympians, okay? That's just in sports. And then mega billionaires, millionaires, and health, cancer. You know, one guy, yeah, I met him in the garbage room in Vancouver. I opened up the door and there he is. And he's so gray and he's humped over and he's like, you think he was going to die any second. I said, holy shit, man, you don't look too good. What's going on? He said, oh, I got prostate cancer. I've had it for 16 months. I've had 32 radiation treatments. And I don't know how much time I have. I said, don't listen to that bullshit. Can I ask you a few questions? Within that 15 minutes, I had asked him all these questions. And all I knew about him was his name was Al. 3 weeks later, I get a call from him. The same guy. He said, hi, Don, this is Al Valjanic. I met you in the garbage room 3 weeks ago. Yeah? Well, I don't have any cancer. Now, I could fill this room with those stories. Fill this room with those stories. And you can access this magnificent, powerful, divine energy called I Am Divinity. And what's natural about it, it matches who you truly are. That's the key. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting that you will know who you are and it will override and supersede who you think you are? Now, if you're tied up with that persona that you've developed, in a second, I might add, and kept it all this time, like I just worked with a guy that when he was 9, his mom died, and he decided to harden his heart. And he hardened his heart the next 40 years. And that's what all his issues were about. We went back, cleaned that up, boom, it's gone. All the symptoms were all gone. That's how easy it is, and that's how simple this is. So if you want to continue with your hard work and all of those kind of things, and going back and paying for this again, that again, and this again, and the counseling and the therapy and coaching and all of that, go ahead, by all means. But if you want to be free, free to be you, free to be who you truly are. And those eyes, every time you look in the mirror, it will remind you how magnificent you are. And that's how this process is about, whether it's in an individual or whether it's in group. And I welcome you to join us in this journey of raising humanity's consciousness from its existing 210 to 700. That's right, you heard it right. 210 to 700. So it's an awesome journey. We're looking for 100 that are willing to go to 700 to raise humanity's consciousness. So I welcome you, and I'll see you on our journey.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Great to have you on the call.
Yep, it's day 56.
56.
Can you imagine? We've been on here every single day for 56 days straight. Pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah. And now just think about that. Like 2 hours at a time, that's 112 hours. And it takes 1 second to shift your consciousness.
All right, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
So yeah, we thought to do that, put that video up sooner than later, because if we have any new people, they're probably like hearing some of the stories that we share every single time, and they're like, what in the world are these guys talking about?
Yeah. What planet are they come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's great to have you on the call. I want to say, if you were on the call in time to hear the Avatar song by Tim, that was Tim Steinruck. He took my process on December 31st, 2019, I think it was. And the next day he wrote a song,
Letting go.
Letting Go. And then he wrote another song after that, which was
I am divine.
I Am Divine. And then this one, I Am the Avatar. They're spectacular songs, all three of them. And he wrote them out of his heart, soul, and transformation of where he was to where he is. Just to give you an idea, he laughed hysterically for 20 solid minutes. As soon as I did he laughed hysterically for 20 minutes. 20 solid minutes. It was amazing. So I trust you got to see all the forest and like the beat of that song of the Avatar. Now, just to let you know, on a little secret, you are an Avatar. Whether you don't, I'm not asking you to believe it. I'm just telling you, you are. That's it. So you can say I'm not or any of those, but you are. And these avatars that we all are have immense power. Immense power. And yet we're messing around. We're messing around with insecurity and not good enough and not worthy and not loved and all of those kind of things. The ego energies, the ego entrapments of who we're not. And yet we're this powerful energy, amazing powerful energy. And I'm debating whether I will share some of my the things that have happened with me and for me at that high level, because they are staggeringly amazing. They just, I'm just blown away sometimes. Well, most times it's like, wow, did I do that? Wow, oh, wow. And so I'm always a little cautious of spooking people away.
Spill the beans. Stop teasing, Don.
Okay. Okay. Because some of these, like, none of this team know. It's like I'll figure out how to tell someone. So go ahead, say a few words, and I'll.
Okay, yeah. He'll bring it when it's ready to be birthed.
Give me a minute to recall, and so go ahead, say something.
Yeah. So it's interesting because, come on, Pimp Daddy, King Don Smith. It's too funny. But he's talking about the avatar and stuff like that, and this divine energy that we are. And I was actually on the phone with my mom, which my parents, I grew up Muslim. Okay, so if you know anything about the religion and the faith, it's very restrictive. At least the way the dogma has been like kind of instilled in it present day. And so I'm talking to my mom, and she's like asking me how I'm doing. And and it's like, yeah, mom, I'm amazing. Everything's awesome. Just, I share with her, like the process that we did. So she knows, but she doesn't obviously comprehend it because she's operating from her level of consciousness. And so I'm talking to her, and she's like asking me, like, are you praying? And, because in the Muslim faith, you pray 5 times a day, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, all power to you. But I was, I've searched through every religion and philosophies and all these different things, and I was dedicated to the faith for a couple of years, like praying every day, 5 times a day, wake up at 5 a.m. to pray, and so on and so forth. Now I still pray. It's just divine focus, right? Like I'm not praying to an external force. And so it never really actually changed any of how I felt. And so I was talking to my mom, and she's like talking about, you need to make sure that you're praying. And she's like, you remember after you got out of jail? So if you guys don't know, I went to jail for a few days, a few weeks actually. Well, 6 days in jail, 17 days in a rehab center. And so, if you want to know the story, I'll tell you, but it doesn't matter. The point is she told me like after I got out, I told her like, hey, like, I'm gonna make sure that uh I'm sticking to my faith because I don't want to like displease God and like, and so like after
I got to get something. You keep
yeah,
going.
for sure. And I told her like, hey mom, like, every single thing that we create in our life is us, and we're creating it whether it's consciously or whether it's unconsciously. And I told her when I went to jail in Bali, I created that. It wasn't this God in the sky trying to put me in jail for some reason. No, I created it. And I told her the reason why I created it was because if you don't know, like I had been suffering from a weed addiction for 12 years. Even though I had all these accolades, I was traveling the world, had all these businesses, had the hot supermodel wife, all that, I was still in my own prison of, being dependent on this external substance. And so I wanted to stop smoking. And so I told myself, like, hey, I want to stop smoking. And literally put myself in a position to where I was forced to stop. And so she's like, no, that's not true. You didn't create that. She's like, no, that God is trying to challenge you and test you. I'm like, okay, mom, whatever. And she kept on like, trying to get me to buy into her belief system of like, God needs you to pray to him and all this stuff and blah blah blah. And so she's like, like this is, it's there because it's trying to help you and stuff like that. I'm like, so mom, respectfully, but like what, like, you pray every day, 5 times a day. Dad prays 5 times a day. Why are you guys both miserable and poor? And so she's like, well, I think it's like 90% is our we create, but then there's 10% where God is trying to test us. And so I was like, whatever you want to call it, right? God, like if it's an external, like God or yourself, we create those situations, whether we're conscious of it or unconscious of it, right? Because it's all within us. And this is really realizing that we are the creator of every single thing, even not only just happening in our lives, like you're shifting the entire planet, whether you're conscious of it or not. And I'm sure, I have a feeling that Don's gonna bring up some pretty interesting stories to show you and to give you the big picture of how that's possible and how everything is within us and is our own doing. It's crazy to say, but it's the truth. And so I think there's a transition here.
Well, I'm still okay. There might only be one or two on the call when we're done here. So no one knows these things. There's only one person that knows some of this. There's only one person that knows some of this, and he's not on the call.
Was it the guy that you talked to that you took him to over 1,000 the other day?
Yeah. Yeah. So at the risk of losing everybody on the call and not having anyone come back now, keeping in mind, Sam doesn't know these, Jamie doesn't know these, Will doesn't know this. Like, yeah, there's only one person that knows one thing. And I've shared about journal. I've been writing journals now for, well, I'm just going to guess at 30 years, more than that. But coming back down to religion, Sam talked about his immersion into Well, I was strict Irish Catholic. And I went once, it was in the 90s. I'd been searching, I was in AA for, what was it, 9 years, I think. And I was searching, I was in charismatic renewal, all those things. But one thing I did, I went once. Now, I'm committed. When I say, okay, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And one of the things was, what I was searching for was the answers in religion, in the Catholic. And of course, some of you that's a Protestant or this or that, well, you know, that's where Catholicism was weak and this one's strong. And it's like, they're all, anyway. So what I did was, for a 1 solid year, I went to Mass every day. Every day. I had a job that allowed me, my uncle was a priest, and he used to do Mass at 7 o'clock in the morning in town. And my job was in town, and it started at 8. And so I was there every morning to go to Mass every day for a year, went to communion every day for a year, went to confession every week for a year. And not one damn thing changed. Not one. Not one. And so like it was like, okay, that's not the answer. That's not the answer for me. You know, and once again, like I've all family, like we grew up in the Irish Catholic, like there was a church and we all went to the same church. There was, I think, 8 communities, went to the same school, were taught religion in the school, like, yeah, all of that. I was an altar boy for 8 years. So I was immersed in Catholicism, okay? And then it was like, yeah, no, that's not the answer. No, that is not the answer. And whatever your God is and whatever, that's entirely up to you. You just keep that God. I'm not trying to get you to change anything. That's not what this is about. I'm going to share with you some things that I feel very sensitive about, that are effing out of this world crazy, but I'm going to take the risk and see what happens. So once again, this is all new to everybody. Everybody. And it was like, and I'm constantly pushing the envelope, constantly pushing the envelope of, you know, once I find something and get something and I figure it all out, put all the pieces together like that jigsaw puzzle. Okay, that's how that, okay, got it. And and sometimes I might be reading something or whatever, and I get a piece of something, but because I have so many other pieces and the platform that's strong, I can figure out how to put that piece into this platform. So let me, that's why I had to go get my journal, because I don't do memory very good anymore. I'm in, like, there, I'm in the instant. I am God. How can disease affect me? How in the hell can God have a disease? Am I a God or not? Okay. Am I, or yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Imagine God with a disease. Did you ever hear of that?
No,
How come?
because it's not in the realm of possibility.
Wow. Okay. I'm God's child, the powerful mother. How can fear, scarcity, disease, and want mean? How do they have any meaning for me? Okay. Once again, I am God. How can the ego enter my energy field? Like, imagine that. There's God, whatever that God is for you. I'm not telling you what that is, but how in the hell can I have an ego? Got it?
Got it.
Now, it gets a little deeper. I am God, therefore only perfect health can be in my body, mind, and soul. Imagine walking around, body, mind, and soul being divine. Okay? I am God, therefore only divinity can be in my energy field. Now, there's lots of others here, but now, one of the things I found out is why we came here. Does everybody know why they came? Everybody? Anybody? Okay. Well, this is what I found out. Anybody interested in why you came here? Anybody?
Yes.
Any yeses? Okay. A few? Okay. You'd like to know? Well, here's what it is. We came here to overcome death and dying and all of the symptoms that go with them. You think about Lazarus. Think about Jesus. That now, I'm just talking about the Bible that I read and the church, like, so that kind of thing. Okay. And so you do your own thing. It's not about changing religions. Just talking about, like, wow, huh? And then now these guys were giving me feedback without them knowing what the feedback was about. Okay. And this has been going on, the aging thing, for a month or 6 weeks, something like that. Okay. Is it possible to attain a body vibration high enough to reverse aging and even stop the body from dying? How big a statement is that? Told you how crazy this is and how far beyond the way we're living. Okay, I'll say it again. It is possible to attain a body vibration high enough to reverse aging. So let's just stop there for a sec. How many times have you said to me, you personally said to me, how much younger I look today than yesterday, or whatever?
Countless times. I don't know, maybe like, I'd say like 8, 9 times.
Right.
In the last like couple of months.
Last couple of months, 8 or 9 times. Once we were here, and it was Jamie and you, and I don't know who the other person was. Oh my God, you look younger today than yesterday. And I've been doing this. This is what I've been doing, working on these. Okay? I'll say it again. It is possible to attain a body vibration high enough to reverse aging and to even stop the body from dying. And then the one that I just shared. Okay. Use an infinite power and infinite wisdom to resolve limitations of death and dying. Okay. Imagine that. Let me see. Okay. Anybody leave yet?
Looks like we have more people join, so that's a good sign.
I am God, therefore I am immortal. From my call the other night, there's a client that's been on here numerous times. He called and he was tears, just in such a dark, dark, dark place, saying that he was recalling all of the loved ones that he hurt in his ego program. And he was falling to pieces. Falling to pieces. And I said, oh, wow. So, how long do you want to believe the ego story? That you're this bad, terrible person. Am I correct? That you shed all that and let it all go and started treating your wife and your children, I think it's 4 or 5, I can't remember. I think it was 4 or 5 in total, counting his wife. Have you not reversed that? Yes. Well, those tears, they're not of sadness. They're of you being sensitive. They're you being sensitive to who you truly are, and you never in your whole life allowed yourself to do that before. Ever. And he just went and just come right up out of there and into recognizing the magnificence and beauty. And I said, okay, there's 5 people in your life. You tell me each one of them what happened to them and you since you started this. And proceeded to tell me. And they were all extraordinary, absolutely amazing. Each and every one of them, for all 5. Okay? He recognized that that wasn't the ego, it was like his divinity coming alive. And it had this sensitivity and softness to it that he had never allowed himself to experience in his whole life. How crazy is that? And then to finally get it and the ego convince him, or attempt to convince him, that he was this bad, terrible person. And it was instantly gone. Instant. So what if we are here to tap into the power of our divinity and use it for ourselves, for our family, and for humanity? Imagine that. How powerful am I? When are you going to allow yourself to accept this divine power of invincibility? Invincibility. And then, I am God, therefore I am immortal. Imagine that. Imagine that. Being immortal. So yeah, there was somebody at 900,000.
I think even 1,000.
Yeah. And yet we think that somebody's senior at 70. Okay.
He's still a baby.
Yeah, still a baby. Okay. So
So Gilbert says, I'm no theologian, but even in the Bible it says, so why don't people believe in their own scriptures? Psalms, I can't read that number. 82:6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
I'm saying we're all God. Done. Okay. So when are we going to step into that power? When are we going to use that power? And I'm guessing that you would use it for the most absolute best for you, your inner circle, and for all of humanity. That's the shift in consciousness from 210 to way above 1,000. I didn't stop at 1,000. I did not stop at 1,000. That's what we're here. And that those dark stories that people read about or listen to, read the paper, or you know, the stories and the whatevers. We're here to undo that. And how we undo it is be all of who we are. Yes, Tim. Yes, that's true. The interpretation. Yes. And so, you know, and I was brought up, everything was sin. Everything was sin. Literally. Imagine being brought up with everything is light. Everything is light. Big difference. Big difference. So, that's what I'm talking about. We are here. Be all of who we are. We can either stay here or and be in that light, or come back later. Whatever. But you're here. We're here to undo dark. We're here to undo darkness. We're here to be in our light and to spread that light like a grass fire with that level of invincibility. Yeah. So anyway, there you have it. There's a few other things, but I've probably given you enough to digest for a while. Whew.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man. So it's interesting because Will shared a song with me. I forgot who the guy was speaking on it, but it's like he just the Return of Enki. Yeah, so it's talking like there was like some monologue before the song starts, and it's talking about like he's talking about, you know, he says, I am God. And he's saying like it's not me that's God, but the I am that is God, which is all of us. God that I think he said something like, imagine God having like a crash nebula explosion, and he came here on Earth, manifested as billions of people. And that's what came up for me when you were saying that. It's like we're all here to rediscover that.
Rediscover who we truly are. Yeah. Yeah. Rediscover who we are. Because you think about, you know, at one time, like I had a Jerusalem Bible with a leather cover on it, and I had it pretty near worn out. Like that's because when I would do something, I went all in, like all in. Okay. But it's this being able to clear so quickly this humanness. I was on a call this morning, and this lady that I was talking to, it was like, I'm bad and I'm evil and I'm all la 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 la. I said, how in the F longer are you going to believe that bullshit story? You know, go back and recall those divine moments that you were so alive. How can you be able to do that if you're that? Like, impossible. And so imagine being all of who you are, truly, like seriously, with this light shining so amazingly bright. And I'm telling you, you know, well, these guys, like, even with these guys that I'm right beside daily, recognizing my shift daily. It's like, oh, like that kind of response some days. And it's like, okay, this is who we are. This is what we're meant to do. And this is how we're meant to do it. And we're not meant to die. We're not. We're here to be fully in our light. You know, and Tim going from the first one, I am
Letting go.
Oh, letting go. So that's his song was about the letting go. And when he let go, he laughed hysterically for 20 minutes, letting go. Not an exaggeration. It was literally 20 solid minutes. He laughed blindly, hysterically, letting go. And then the next one, the middle one,
I am divine.
I'm divine. And then I'm avatar. Okay, so divine is a 700. Avatar is 1,000 plus. Okay.
Okay, says Don, can people who are 1,000 plus communicate telepathically?
Well,
it's way less than 1,000.
Yeah. Go ahead, say it.
It's like 200 something.
Can you pull up that chart? The bigger one.
Enoch and Elijah are two men of the Bible that were taken without experience of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's many stories of different prophets and saints that chose to ascend and not live here on this 3D plane. So death is just.
And I've chosen to stay here until my job is done. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you, Don.
What's that? The one with the 2,500. No, the other one. Yeah.
So Shannon, yeah, we'll try to get those. Are those songs on YouTube?
Yeah.
They're not on YouTube yet. We'll try to.
The link is there on the.
Oh, there's the link. Yeah.
Okay.
Gilbert says, Don, have you seen this divine being? Ezekiel 8:2. Then I looked, and there was a likeness, like the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his waist and downward, fire, and from his waist and upward, like the appearance of brightness, like the color of amber. Chezemel Chasmalin, known as the electric ones.
Right. No, I haven't. I can't keep them all apart. I'm not exaggerating. I'm just I can't even remember. I can't. It's Sam. Like Will. Yes. Okay. Got it. So, when I was doing the Bible thing, I had, I was doing all of that, and it's just that that's not where I'm at right now, and yeah, okay. Oh,
Try that again. Wait, did he mean that chart or the other chart?
no, chart he just had
Okay.
there. Okay, Avatar 985. Okay, God Logos 850. I 1,000. Archangels 50,000. What if you're an archangel? Imagine you being an archangel, messing around at 125. Imagine that. Imagine you're an archangel at 50,000 and you're trying to get up to 125 or 200. Hysterical. Hysterical. What if you made that decision? I'm open to receiving whatever amount of light that I came here to receive before I left the other plane. What if you said that? Now, whether that's at 800,000, 25,000, 50,000, infinity, imagine that. I am open to receiving what I am and who I am, and all that comes with that. You got the courage to say that. So, there we have it. So what if we're here? Well, we are. We're here to overcome death and dying. Boom. It's all a scam. It's all a scam. It's all a story told by the ego. And I shared this one story once. And once again, all of my religion things have to do with Catholicism, okay? So I'm just sharing those. I'm not saying they're any better or worse than anyone else or any of that. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying when I would go to do something, it went to that foundation. And it was like, okay, so there was this original sin. Huh. Ah, in the Garden of Eden. Once again, my stories, what I was taught, what I learned. In the Garden of Eden. Biting the apple. Eve biting the apple was all the woman's fault, you know. And Adam following, him biting the apple, the serpent. So what I did was, whatever number of years, doesn't matter. Let's reverse that. Just like, did you get your programming reversed with me when I took you through the process?
Yeah.
Did everything shift? How about you, Will? Yeah. Huh. So I was thinking, what if we reversed the story of the Garden of Eden, eating the apple, original sin. So I have a dear friend that's in this program, and I called her Eve, and we'd been in daily contact for a long time. Weekly contact. And so I called her and I said, would you like to represent Eve as we go back and reverse original sin? She said, yeah, okay. I'll let you know when we're doing it and what time and everything. So Jamie and I, we were in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And there was a hacienda there that was right on the point, right out on the ocean. And it was a spectacular setting. And we were looking at purchasing it. And having our location there in Cabo San Lucas. And so we had it set up. I was going to be Adam, she was going to be Eve. And we went back. I'm pretty sure Jamie videoed it all. I'm pretty sure. I can't recall. And yeah, had this set up where it was the Garden of Eden, and went back and re-imprinted the Garden of Eden story. Just like I re-imprinted, well, I did. I took the person through the process, okay? So working with Sam, he re-imprinted his impasse and whatever. Agreed?
Yes.
Same with you, Will? Okay. Same with some of you on the call. And we went back and rewrote the Garden of Eden story. And then just come back up through all timelines, both her and I. So to whatever degree that we had an impact there, and it happened, and it's still happening, imagine doing that. Imagine reversing the concept of sin. Guess what goes with sin? Ego. Imagine no ego, no sin, pure light. Imagine no difference between heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. Imagine that. So, let's put that on a t-shirt. So, if I've spooked you in any way, I apologize for the spookiness.
Well, it looks like we spooked 2 people off. We did a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is none of what Don is saying is going to make sense to the logical mind. So don't even try to analyze it or how does that work or whatever. It's just not going to make sense on a logical level,
Intellectual level.
yeah.
I mean, even the just the bare transformation doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody like the guy that when I was on Prince Edward Island, I moved from Calgary to PEI. I was there for 15 years, and I had set up an office for doing this. And there was a guy came to Charlottetown, the capital, from Toronto, and he had been in therapy for 10 years, dealing with phobias. And we started at 10 o'clock and we're done at 20 after. And he had spent all that time and all that money and still had it. Still had his phobias. He had multiple ones. And here they were all gone. Boom. So like, how is that? And yes, he had difficulty thinking, 10 years, all that money, all that time, still had it. And that's where they have difficulty the ego would say, oh, well, that's not real. You know, don't listen to that guy. You know, go back to that another 10 years and that kind of thing. So it is quite a stretch. It is quite a stretch. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. I still can't believe that I shared all of us. So
Matthew 4:4, but he answered, it is written, man shall not live by the bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Psalms 119:5, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. John 11, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. So rewriting history makes so much sense. And with enough faith, I can manifest like the butterfly effect. Or, what does it say? Mandela effect.
right, Mandela. So, well, congratulations. You're all mostly all still here. That's good.
That was the initiation process.
For everybody. Once again,
I had no clue about this.
none of this.
No.
Jamie, no.
Nobody.
No, no. Will, no. No, I had not shared this with a soul, except one person that was an absolute basket case when they called. And the ego had them all twisted in knots. And the glow on his face was as bright as that light 20 minutes later. How is that? How is that? So I'm challenging you. You're here as an angel, get your damn well, get your wings on. You're here as a divine energy being to shift death, dying. Get busy. Get busy and know that that's how powerful you are. That you came here for this. And reverse death and dying and aging. Imagine that. Because I have people like just for the kicks, like in the Philippines, they honor and respect aging. So everywhere you go, it's like, you know, there's a like a big lineup in any store, and there's always a place for someone that has a disability or aging. So I go there. And many times they ask me for my proof of my age. They cannot believe that I am the age I am, year-wise, because I'm not the age I am in my physical being. And I'm telling you, these boys here, there was one day I was here, and then I come back. I can't remember, it was one day or 2 days. They said, I cannot believe it, how much younger you look today than yesterday or the day before. I forget what it was.
I know exactly what day that was.
Please.
So Jamie and I went to General Santos, and you FaceTimed us. You FaceTimed us that day, and I was like, holy moly. I was like, who is that? I was surprised. And then like even Nini, I was like, dude, Don looks younger than you guys. I swear. And then the next day we were here and you came, and then it was even more drastic the next day.
Right.
And yeah, it's crazy. Even like on the call earlier, like from the beginning till now, like it's pretty crazy. Like yeah, it doesn't make sense to the logical mind, of course, but
And so, hey, what have you got to lose? Got everything to gain. And I'm challenging you. quit effing around with these beliefs, negative, trying to get to the positive. It's like, no, you're divine. Get there. You're already there. Like, that's it. Okay? That's it. Thank you, Shannon, for your encouragement. Like, that took a lot for me to say this. It really took a lot of, yeah. Yeah, I've been doing some of this now for a couple of months and not telling anybody. Not that I was trying to hide it. It's just that, well, you hurry up, Shannon, get here.
We're still gonna have our event. We'll be talking. We'll be figuring that out. But the main thing is honestly just getting the system going, which that was an initiation. Now we really know who's about this, because for the partner system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we now know who's really about the mission.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're still working on the event details. Like the main thing for us is just right now just getting the partner program up and going. So we'll be having some really cool, I guess you could say, contests. So like for the people that are really about it, we'll be having some prizes. We'll announce that as soon as like we get some momentum going. The last 2 days, the developer's been gone. We haven't heard from him, so I'm assuming it's just because of the weekend. So I just messaged him right before this call. We'll be figuring out what's up with that last piece, so we can get you guys. I know so many of you have been just like itching to start inviting your friends and whatnot. So we just want to get that going, and then we'll hit the next piece or pieces because we want to get the bank rolling.
By the way, it's 11:11.
11:11. Perfect timing. Divine timing. So yeah, we want to get the bank app going, and then the event that's also on the books. And then we also have the broker. So like as you guys can tell, there's like literally so many different moving pieces. Not only are we mixing like the divinity, that's like that thing alone, the divinity, I mean, that's unheard of, right? And trying to get that into a program, like trying to bring the divinity into the 3D realm is kind of interesting to say the least. And then add in the Forex, the crypto, their partner program, like instant pay, bank, broker, it's like, but we're divine. So it's like piece of cake. We got this. So we just want to say thank you for your patience. Of course, I mean, I would be on here regardless if there was anything partner program or whatever. So we're excited to get things rolling. And if anyone wants to share anything, this might be a good time to open up the floor so you guys can share maybe insights that from what you just heard from Don, maybe some updates or question or whatever. Well, this is
Yo, Don, what was that thing you said earlier about allowing their light? You said I'm open to allowing however light. That needs to be on a t-shirt, on a I Am Divinity t-shirt. Seriously. That'd be dope. Just a suggestion.
And because now remember, guys, I can't really remember. I'm in a totally different state when I do these. So coming back out, I don't.
It was so awesome. It sounded like you've done that mantra for decades there, Don. The way you the way you were saying it. You said something, I'm willing to take on however much of light or something like that. I'm willing to take on in this I have the courage for it or something like that along the lines. But it was so awesome. I should have recorded it. Dang it.
we have it recorded.
It is
so
recorded.
we'll check
Yeah,
it
you're
out.
right. Yeah, no, seriously, that'd be a dope shirt.
The laptop's on low battery. So Amy says, how do you deal with energy attack? Okay, so I'll tell you because I literally just dealt with this the other day. Literally,
You got the floor,
I
bud.
got it. So energy attack, it can't, okay, look, at the end of the day, like the attacks, those are just, if you're on that frequency, then it can actually affect you. But if you've done your divine focus and you're in your divinity, nothing can affect you. It's simple as that. Just being in your divine energy, I mean, nothing can affect you. I mean, what is, like just if you
Well,
want to
there
take
is a way it's affected, and that's the you have an attachment to something in the old system. You have an attachment. That's what it is. Okay, and it's that finding out what that attachment is to whatever, or there's a reason why you still have it, whether it's well, once again, I can guess it forever. It's easier when I'm just talking to somebody and ask them a few questions. If you're interested, Amy,
Yes,
I will.
please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Because this is way I operate. Like I don't have, okay, I know what I'm going to ask her. I don't. Okay. So like I'm going to ask her a question or whatever, and she's going to give me an answer, and then I'm going to ask another question, whatever that is. And there's nothing written, memorized about any of this. I'm just in the zone, just respond, okay? So
Mhm.
let me see, how did you word that? Let me see, an energy attack. Well, what kind of an energy attack?
So,
What is
like, I don't know if I'm linking this to, there was one night I was doing my divine focus,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden I feel like a different energy, like, if I visualizing, it's like 8 different people, like sync
Are
into
you saying
one, and
you saying
eight,
Eight.
yeah,
eight,
eight,
eight different?
and I don't know any of them. So completely different 8 type of personality people, like sinking into one, and then just like sinking into me. And then I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then literally my body was shaking, and like I have tears, and I'm like, this is crazy. Then next day, I don't know why my husband is just consistently attacking me,
Your husband starts attacking you, did you say?
energy wise. Yes.
Right.
Like nothing I do is fine.
I'm sorry?
And then I'm just, nothing I do was fine. Like he could attack on small things like, hey, can you grab this? And then even if I'm just sitting there, it's like, ah. So, or withdraw from conversation. So I was like, what is this? And I do my divinity focus, trying to turn my back to it. And then these days, I'm like, okay, like sometimes I do feel that I couldn't focus as good.
Okay. Well, when you say as good, like, is that 20% is good, 80% is good? What's,
Like 30%. My mind winds like wind off to other places.
Okay. So right now, just can you recall your most powerful moment?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're in this state of your most powerful moment, how much power does that, what you just said, have over you?
10%.
Okay. Well, make sure you go back to your divine focus again, the most
Mhm.
powerful moment. Because even at
Mhm.
10%, I want to show you something. Just go back.
Yeah.
That very first moment where this happened, and you, oh my God, this is me. This is me.
Yeah.
And what's it? Is it still 10?
It's reducing to 8.
It's what?
It reduced to 8.
reduced to 8. Okay, so you know how to reduce it then.
Mhm.
So why not reduce it to 5?
Okay, thank you. It's at 0.
There, Amy. Who did that?
I did.
You did that. Now you
Mhm.
had this belief that you didn't have the power to do that.
Mm.
And it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's your husband or your great grandmother's uncle's brother. Okay?
Mhm.
You have this power and you're not using it.
Mm.
So when are you going to do that, Amy?
Now,
How soon is now? Like now, or now, tomorrow,
now, this second, like now,
This second,
it's
okay?
done.
Wonderful. Now, imagine all of that happening again. Your husband, or whatever that storyline was,
Mhm.
only you're holding this. And what
Mhm.
happens to the story re your husband?
It was energy attack.
No. Listen to me. Right now, in the state that you're in, that you're accessed it, and here it is, you're at 100%, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, your husband's saying the same words. What happens?
Mm. He's just
What,
saying the same words, and
and what happened?
I
What?
what happened? I think he wants what I have.
Well, it doesn't matter anything about his reasoning about what it is, and that's great if it is. But here's what I'm saying, Amy.
Mhm. Yes,
Holding this light, what happens when your husband says the exact words he said? With
nothing,
you holding what?
nothing happens on my side.
Exactly, Amy. And what happens to
Mm.
this other 8 or whatever in the heck you were talking about? What happens to them?
What 8?
Well, I thought you said there was 8 others or something outside the realm of your husband. Maybe
Oh
I
no,
misunderstood.
that was when I was doing my divinity focus. I see
Yeah,
like 8 different spirits and merge into one, and then like just sink into me.
and those are light beings, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So what's this like for you to be this powerful that you're attracting 8? You're cheating, by the way, but go on. Okay, you got 8. That's how powerful you are. And what's
I'm
this like?
confused. It was confusing, but then at the moment, I literally feel like my whole body shaking,
Yeah.
and then like I was tearing up, not knowing what,
Well,
and
congratulations.
then I just went to sleep. I was like, I'm done with the focus. The 20 minutes over, and
Yeah.
I went to bed.
So isn't that awesome that there's 8 light beings entered your energy field, that you're that bright?
Okay, so it's nothing bad.
Well, it doesn't sound like it to me.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Amy.
Because I
You're
was
welcome.
linking it to something bad. Because then,
I
like
know.
my
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, Amy. Instead of something absolutely amazingly awesome.
Hmm. But
Imagine
then after that, like
uh-huh.
my ego is telling me after that my Facebook got hacked and all the other stuff.
Yeah, that's how the ego works. It's like it's going to do everything it can to get you back into the low vibration, so it has control over you and everything you say or do. Okay?
Hmm. Okay.
Now, you have a weapon that the ego has no power against. And what that is what you just did. You go into that bright, bright light that you are. And that's it.
Thank you.
What's this like?
That was simple.
I could have made it complicated. Do you want the complicated version? It might take us a little longer.
I would like to find out, but out of curiosity.
No, we're not doing that. Just teasing you. Okay?
Mm,
You know what
Thank
it
you,
is.
Sam.
This is how powerful you are, Amy. There's 8 light beings coming at you at the same time. Embrace
Mm.
that.
Thank you.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay.
Paul says, I have an experience that listening to Don's experience has brought to the surface.
I have an experience. Okay, go ahead, Paul.
Hi guys, hi Don.
Hi, Paul.
Yeah, I have thought about this before, and I just kind of skimmed over it in my memory banks. But then it came back, and your story. Let me see if I can get this video to start here. Yeah, there, your story kind of triggered it again, and so I'll just recount what I experienced. So coming home at about the age of 7 or 8. As I would often be on my own walking home, because of course children in those days could walk home on their own. They didn't have to be picked up by a car or anything.
Yeah.
And we often walked a couple of miles even to get to school. But in
Yep.
any event, when I was coming back, I all of a sudden had this sense that as I'm walking on the sidewalk, I'm actually moving the sidewalk under my feet. So it's not me walking on the sidewalk, but it's me moving the sidewalk under my feet in order to get to where I need to be, which was
Right.
at that time I was walking home. And this would happen on many occasions at that time. And I just felt this almost like the physical, the idea of the sidewalk being this huge sidewalk just shrank in my mind, and it shrunk in my mind that I was able to actually move myself on this physical plane wherever I wanted to without it actually getting in the way or causing me any kind of friction.
Isn't that
And like no
amazing, Paul?
resistance. Yeah, that was amazing. It was amazing. And I repeated that a number of times during that time when I would go back to that experience, and it would recreate again. And it was almost like if I wanted the sidewalk to move, I could make that sidewalk move.
That would be in the category of Superman, right? Would it or no?
Yeah. Here we go again. So it's like,
Oh, Paul,
so
you
anyway,
damn well keep that Superman cape on.
yeah.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and start using it with consistency every day. Practice using
Yeah.
your cape. Okay? Because we are meant to do the impossible.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're here for. Okay?
Yeah, I'm getting back to that whole sense.
And
Thank
just
you.
may I a word of caution to everybody: be cautious as to who you share this with. Okay, these stories. Be cautious. Make sure that this person has a little bit of awareness to them. Okay, got it. And so that the ego will try to get somebody in there that to trick you to think that you're way out there and you're crazy or whatever. So just be cautious. That's all I'm saying. Who you share the stories with, and at the same time get busy and do more of it.
Great.
Got it? Congratulations, Paul. Thanks for sharing.
No more Clark Kent.
Yeah, thanks.
Excellent.
There's a message from Gilbert to Amy.
Amy, okay.
Alrighty. Well,
Okay.
It's 11:30 our time. Anyone have any questions or anything like that?
Yeah, it's a pretty, even though it's a short time, it was, you just got a whole planet of energy download. So I trust that you'll kind of like Tim's songs, especially that Avatar, like listening to that.
I was just thinking, but we should play that again.
Yeah, because that's who you are. Yeah.
On that note, we're gonna play the song, and then yeah, we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Philippines time, 9 p.m. Eastern. With that being said, I am the Avatar, and so are you.
Yes. So listen to this amazing, especially with the visuals that went with it today. It was like heart pounding, dramatically awesome.
Huh?
infinite come to earth, a hero's journey, finding what has always been, finding what has always been, finding what has